Welcome to the Launch Capsule. With your host, James DuBos. Buckle up because your launch capsule begins now.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Launch Capsule. I'm Jim, and today I'm talking about something many of you have been asking about, how to take your established business to the next level. If you're like me, you've put in the hard work, you've survived the planning phase, you've successfully launched, and now you've reached that critical stability point where your business is consistently bringing in revenue. That's a huge achievement that many entrepreneurs never reach. But now you're facing a different challenge. How do you break through that plateau and experience significant growth? How do you transition from growth to scaling? Whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening on your favorite podcast platform, I'm excited to share this deep dive into the growth and scaling phases that can transform your stable business into a growth rocket. Let's get started. When you have an established business that hits stability, you face a unique set of challenges that are different from what you encountered during startup. First, there's the plateau effect. Your revenue has likely stabilized, your customer base has become somewhat predictable, and you might even be profitable, but growth has slowed or stalled completely. Second, there's increased competition. As you've proven your business model works, others have likely entered your space, creating more noise in the market and potentially commoditizing what once made you unique. Third, there's the operational ceiling. The systems and processes that got you to stability might actually be holding you back from scaling. What worked for a small operation often breaks under the pressure of growth. And finally, there's the resource allocation challenge. You now have some resources to invest in growth, but deciding exactly where to put those precious dollars and hours can be paralyzing. I've faced all these challenges in my own business journey over 10 companies. When my first company hit the 18-month mark, we had a stable client base, consistent revenue, and a small but dedicated team. But we'd been hovering at the same revenue level for 3 months, and I knew something needed to change if we wanted to reach the next level. First is the growth phase, breaking through the plateau. The first thing to understand about the growth phase is that it requires a fundamental shift in how you think about your business. Up until now, you've likely been focused on stability and survival, making sure you had enough clients, enough cash flow, and enough resources to keep the doors open. Now you need to shift from a stability mindset to a growth mindset. This doesn't mean taking reckless risks, but it does mean being willing to strategically reinvest profits, experiment with new approaches, and possibly even step away from some of the things that got you to where you are. You must focus on customer retention and expansion. The foundation of sustainable growth is maximizing the value of your existing customer base. This is the lowest hanging fruit for established businesses, yet many skip straight to acquisition strategies. Let me share some statistics that change my perspective. 1. It costs 5 to 25 times more to acquire a new customer than to retain an existing one. And 2. Increasing customer retention by just 5% can increase profits by 25 to 95%. So to start, here are 3 strategies that have proven effective. 1. Implement a customer success program. This goes beyond reactive customer service. Proactively reach out to customers at strategic intervals, provide additional value, and ensure they're getting the most from what you offer. 2. Create upsell and cross-sell opportunities. Look at your current offerings and identify natural next steps for customers who are already seeing success with your core product or service. 3. Develop a referral system. Your satisfied customers are your best salespeople. Create incentives that encourage them to refer others to your business. Now, next up is strategic acquisition channels. Once you've optimized your customer retention, it's time to focus on acquiring new customers more effectively. The key here is to identify 2 to 3 customer acquisition channels that deliver the best ROI for your specific business and double down on them. Don't spread yourself too thin across every marketing platform. For example, in my business, we discovered that speaking and sponsoring industry events and running highly targeted marketing campaigns delivered significantly better results than our broader efforts. When we reallocated 80% of our marketing budget to these channels, our lead quality improved dramatically and our conversion rate increased by 35%. Here are some ways to identify your most effective marketing channels. 1. Analyze your current customer acquisition data. Where are your best customers coming from? Not just the most customers, but the most valuable ones. 2. Run small, controlled experiments. Test new channels with minimal investment before committing significant resources. 3. Optimize for the full funnel. Don't just look at top-of-funnel metrics like leads or traffic. Track acquisition costs all the way through to customer lifetime value. Okay, now comes systems and team building. As you grow, the systems and team structure that got you to stability will quickly become bottlenecks. A common pattern I see in businesses ready for growth is the founder bottleneck, where the business owner is involved in every decision and operation. This inherently limits how much you can grow. To break through this bottleneck, you need to 1. Document your key processes. Create standard operating procedures for every critical function in your business. This is the foundation for delegation and training. Let me say this again. You must document your key processes to delegate effectively. 2. Identify your highest value activities. As the business owner, what tasks genuinely require your unique skills and vision? These are the 20% of activities that generate 80% of your results. 3. Make strategic hires or outsourcing decisions. Based on the activities that don't require your direct involvement, decide whether to hire employees, contractors, or outsource to specialized providers. In my first business, I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week on client deliverables when I should have been focusing on business development and strategy. By hiring a project manager and 2 specialists, I was able to free up those hours. And although it was an investment, our revenue increased by 40% within 4 months as I focused on higher leverage activities. Next up is the scaling phase, from growth to exponential expansion. So what is the difference between growth and scaling? There's an important distinction between growth and scaling that many business owners miss. Growth means adding resources at the same rate as you're adding revenue. If you need to hire 1 new employee for every 5 new clients, you're growing linearly. Scaling means adding revenue at a much faster rate than you're adding resources. This is where your business model becomes truly powerful and profitable. The transition from growth to scaling doesn't happen automatically. It requires intentional design of your business model, operations, and technology stack. The key to scaling and business model optimization. To scale effectively, you need to optimize your business model for leverage and margin. 1. Productize your services. If you're in a service business, look for ways to standardize and systematize your offerings. This could mean creating tiered service packages, developing proprietary methodologies, or creating templates and frameworks that allow less experienced team members to deliver high-quality results. 2. Develop recurring revenue streams. Subscription models, retainers, and maintenance packages create predictable cash flow and increase customer lifetime value. 3. Optimize your pricing strategy. Many established businesses are significantly underpriced. As you've proven your value and refined your offerings, strategic price increases can dramatically improve your margins without proportionally increasing delivery costs. In one of my previous companies, when we transitioned from hourly billing to value-based package pricing, our average client value increased by 72%, while our delivery costs only increased by 18%. This margin expansion gave us the resources to invest in further scaling opportunities. Now we need to look at operational leverage. Operational leverage is about creating systems that allow you to serve more customers without a proportional increase in operational complexity. Here are some ideas to consider. 1. You must invest in technology and automation. Identify repetitive tasks and processes that can be automated. This might include customer onboarding, billing, reporting, or parts of your core delivery. 2. Develop centralized knowledge management. Create systems that allow team members to access the information they need without constantly interrupting others. 3. Implement scalable communication protocols. As you grow, ad hoc communication quickly becomes chaotic. Establish clear channels, cadences, and expectations for internal and external communication. In scaling one of my companies, I discovered that our project management system was becoming a bottleneck, and we invested in a more robust platform and spent a few weeks migrating and optimizing our workflows. This upfront investment saved the team over 15 hours per week in administrative tasks, allowing us to take on more clients without adding additional team members. Now, you need to consider strategic partnerships and expansion. Strategic partnerships can provide rocket fuel for your scaling efforts. Here are 3 ways to consider partnerships and expansion. Identify complementary businesses. Look for companies that serve your ideal customers but don't compete directly. These can become referral partners, integration partners, or even acquisition targets. Consider geographic or market expansion. Once you've proven your model in one market, consider expanding to adjacent markets or locations. And finally, explore licensing or franchising. If your business model is systematized enough, you might be able to license your methods or create a franchise model. One of the most successful moves in our scaling journey was forming a strategic partnership with a complementary service provider. We had many clients asking for their type of service, and they had clients needing ours. Rather than each trying to develop these capabilities, we created a seamless referral system with revenue sharing. This arrangement added 22% to our bottom line in the first year with minimal additional work. Let me share how these phases played out in my own business journey. In a prior company, when we hit that stability plateau, we were generating consistent monthly revenue, but struggling to break through to the next level. Our team was working at capacity, and I was still involved in too many day-to-day operations. First, we focused on the growth phase. We implemented a quarterly check-in program with existing clients that not only improved retention, but uncovered upsell opportunities we'd been missing. We created a formalized referral program that incentivized clients to introduce us to similar businesses. And we documented our core processes, which allowed us to hire and train new team members. These growth strategies took us from $25,000 to $60,000 in monthly revenue over about 6 months. Solid growth, but still linear as our costs were increasing proportionally. Then we shifted to scaling strategies. We created standardized service packages that replaced our custom approach. We invested in automation tools that streamlined our operations, and we formed strategic partnerships with complementary service providers. The result was exponential. We grew from $75,000 to over $400,000 in monthly revenue in the following 18 months, while only adding 5 new team members and increasing our operational costs by about 40%. Our net profit margins expanded from 22% to 38%. The key difference was that in the growth phase, we were still trading time for money in a fairly direct way. In the scaling phase, we broke that correlation by creating systems and partnerships that generated revenue without requiring proportional resource investment. Now, next up is the implementation and execution phase. As you implement these strategies in your own established business, keep these principles in mind. Focus on one phase at a time. Master growth before attempting to scale. Set clear metrics and milestones. Use SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Define what success looks like at each stage and track your progress. Expect growing pains. Systems will break, team dynamics will change, and your role will need to evolve. This is normal and necessary. Invest in your leadership development. The skills that got you to stability are different from those needed for growth and scaling. Be willing to evolve and learn. To recap, once your business is established and stable, the path to the next level involves mastering two distinct phases. The growth phase: optimize customer retention, identify strategic acquisition channels, and build systems and teams that break the founder bottleneck. The scaling phase: optimize your business model for leverage, create operational systems that support exponential expansion, and develop strategic partnerships that accelerate your progress. Following this structured approach won't just help you grow faster, it'll help you grow more sustainably with fewer costly mistakes and detours along the way. If you're ready to take your established business to the next level, or if you have specific questions about applying these principles to your situation, shoot me an email at entrepreneurship@dubos.me. I personally respond to every comment in the first 24 hours after publishing. And don't forget to check out my other videos and podcast episodes for more detailed strategies on business growth and scaling. Until next time, thank you for your time. Remember, business growth isn't about luck or magic. It's about having an exit-ready business. Have an awesome day.
That's a wrap for today's episode of The Launch Capsule. With your host and mentor to success, James DuBos. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and share.